All right, we're on. Let me share the screen. Get rid of my webcam. Put the web on there. Let me. All right. All right. There we go. Now how we did that was. You remember how we did that? View. View. All right, we're active. Said let's do it some way, and I forgot how to do it. Man. Shoot. Let me think about this. How you doing? Could be. Better. Yeah. Yeah. Really good guy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's he's a nice kid, very nice kid. I like him very much. Both of them, yeah, they're really good kids. I'm working on the ones with a lot of energy. They're the ones that are a little tough at the moment. It's not bad. Just got to learn how to do that. You know, in the army, it's easy. I can have discipline, take care of them. Uh, here I got to watch a little bit because you can't do the same type of disciplines. So I got to negotiate. And I found out I'm horrible. I know pipe bending, but what Nocti wants me to teach him, I really got to remember. I'm trying to make 3 pipes look the same and all, and it's been a while. It's been a while since I did that math, so I'm figuring it out. How to do that. Relearning, I should say. Did it 20 some years ago before I went to Kimberly Clark and did all that stuff. I forgot it all. Just totally brain dump. Yeah. Well, they get the Nocti, and then I'm trying to prep someone. They go to like a competition, and yeah, so I'm prepping him to get ready for that. So just having him do a lot of just today, just have him start doing some bends, 90s offsets, 30 degrees for now. Maybe I'm gonna have him do 45, then 22 and a half. I mean, different ones to get used to it. He's already know how to do box offsets, so that's done. That so you know how it is. I mean, we had the little machine, but I told him don't use it. I'm assuming you probably can't use it in a competition. So that's yeah. Yeah. We had yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So how was work today, man? Yeah. Is this near the end? Woohoo! Mhm. Right. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. Right. Mhm. Yep. Oh. Eh, okay. I was wondering why you're working overtime. Okay. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, he is really good. Right. Mhm. Yeah, right. Shift guy could take care of it. Shift electrician could take care of it, you know what I mean? That's what they got that for. Mhm. Not twice, no. They're pretty reliable. Those contactors staying there for a very long time, and they're usually pretty reliable. But is it the same one and same machine though, or is it different machines? You know, like the one in Perini, I haven't changed those in years. Okay. Oh, that's tough. You're down. Yeah. Mhm. Okay. Right. Well, yeah, you gotta get ready to work the Pico, so you got orientation probably, you gotta do all the safety meetings and, all this new hire. Right. Yeah. Nah. Take some time off before you go, probably kill the overtime when you start up, eventually. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's what told me too. Right. Right, right. Yeah, I was getting that a lot too when I was leaving. Yeah, yeah. Couple of them were asking me why am I leaving, and they happened to be friends of the people why I was leaving, so I kept my mouth shut, but I'm like, "Oh, no reason." Yeah, yeah, yeah. But did you, a buddy of mine just sent me a text yesterday. Everybody that, works for Kimberly Clark, all the higher ups, they sold all their stocks, just to let you know. They just sold it all. They sold it all. They Yeah, yeah, it just tells you, it's something's coming. That's why I was like, it's another reason I was gonna leave. But let's get the subject at hand, right? Today, we were gonna talk about union versus non-union. All right. Yeah, yeah, we were. Nah, it's all right. Hey, that's what I hoping you tell the guys to watch us, from Kimberly Clark. Get some views. Ah, nice. Nice. Yeah, yeah. Mhm. Well, I like that. Well, let's do seasons, right? Like we got the holiday coming. I think we should take a break for that, and then maybe make the next one a new season. But I'm gonna go reach out and see if we can get some viewers, man. I'm gonna reach out. I have some people I'm working on my other channel to help me trying to gain viewers because I'm trying to gain viewers, customers. That's basically what I'm trying to do it for. Uh, so I think we got a good product. We just got to get people to watch it. Yeah. Oh, you're busy. You're about to you start a new job. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Congratulations. Awesome. Right, right. Mm. It's alright. We'll work it. I'm thinking, because I had some ideas, I know we're live and all, but I like to maybe go to different locations if we can do something like that. Like, it's a shame we can't get a hold of the wall Milwaukee and just have a you know what I mean? Have a live session with them and just Q&A and just talking and, with this channel. That's one of my well, if we get to Walt, well, yeah, yeah. But let's move on. Yeah, Yeah, you wouldn't turn it down. Yeah, yeah. So let's begin with union and non-union. I was both like you were. I was both, but my original for the non-union was only a few years. Probably, I hate to say it, probably one of the worst contractors I ever worked in my entire life. Worst experience. I felt like it was worse than active duty army, right? When active duty army was tough, right? Because there's hit and misses with active. Usually it's like a job. But when you do something bad, you're in total control. Like one time in active duty, we lost 10 pairs of MBGs and we were out in the field for a month. Uh, and we weren't allowed to take showers. So we had baby wipe showers. So that sucked. That was worse than that residential company. But, I would like to say the name, but I don't know if I can get sued. So I'll be quiet. But it was probably one of the worst experiences in my life. And it was non union. That's why I have a bad taste in my mouth for non union because of that. But sounds like to you, hearing you, you have a positive story. Yeah. Mhm. Well, I had that in union, so yeah. Right. Mhm. Just keep you working. Mhm. Wow. Mm. Mhm. Don't worry, we have union guys that deserve to be fired, so yeah, I understand. Mhm. No. Mhm. Right. That's amazing. Mhm. That's amazing. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Okay. Mhm. Wow. Wow. Mhm. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So they're operating engineers? Is that yeah. No, well, that's the term for that position. Not you. It's just the term. Okay. Right. That's really good. Mhm. Yeah. No. Not me, no. 'Cause I yeah. Right. Right. And I had the opposite. So how this place was, it was mandatory to work a half an hour before and half an hour after for free, which later on in my life I realized that's wage theft. They would intimidate their workers, and try to keep your pay as low as possible all the whole time. And when you try to ask for a raise, they would kind of intimidate it a little bit on it, so you're afraid to ask. And the quality of work, oh my gosh, it's like you're getting taught by someone who doesn't know anything, so you're doing worse. So one time I was doing all the grounds for the panels, and how I was taught was I grab all the grounds of all the 12 volt, 12 wire at 14, roll it and put it in a big connector. That's how I was taught to do it. It's illegal. Another thing I was taught, which was wrong, was when you do multi-wire circuits, they're supposed to be in separate phases. Well, my guy taught me to put them in the same phase, which adds amperage on the line. I worked on ladders in the very tip like the whole time, right? They wouldn't give us the right ladders. Someone fell. They made him feel like it was his fault, you know? Oh yeah, no lunch. Weren't allowed to take lunch. If you did, you were ostracized, or everybody gave you dirty looks like, "Oh my gosh, you took a lunch." It was just a crappy experience. Luckily, I hooked up with a guy. Me and him, we were the finishers for townhouses. Yeah, right. So bad choice of words. We joined forces as the guys taking care of houses. So we were in charge of doing townhouses, and we would have to do 2 townhouses a day. That was our quota, from start to finish, because they thought, So we're running, doing 2 townhouses. But me and him looked at each other. You know what? We're taking lunch, and we started taking lunch. We still got everything done, but then the company found out, and they're trying to give us a rash of crap. And then just as all that was happening, I left and went to union. But the half an hour before and a half hour later, I stopped after month one. I'm like, I ain't doing this again. I'm not working for free. I just snuck out. I just snuck out. I'm not doing this. So that's my experience with the union. I mean, non-union, and also the intimidation. One guy was a wrestler. He had that roid rage, right? He had 2 brothers who were just total jacks. I had one guy, he didn't like someone, so while the guy was working on the dryer outlet, no, range outlet, he turned the circuit breaker on him. Oh, dude, that guy almost killed that guy. Seriously, he hunted him down. I was gonna kill him. You know, this is the that's the guy running that job. That's what he was doing, and he didn't like the Mexicans, so he would mess with them. Oh, it was like, my gosh, I'm a military guy, so I do what I'm told, but I'm like, this place sucks. So I luckily got this. I got to see what was wrong, right? and then I went to IBW, and I was learning all the right things, but then there's opposites there too, man. I don't now in your union, I'm the kinda guy that I treat everybody fairly, equally, it's just who I am. I remember one time, one side lost the election, and I'm like, "Alright, cool." I go to a job, and I'm hanging out in the job working, and the guy comes over and goes, "Yo, man." He starts talking crap about that guy, just nonstop. I finally got ticked. I said, "Dude, won't you be quiet? I like everybody. He's a good guy. He ran. We may not agree with him, so you need to shut the hell up and get away from me." Well, needless to say, I got laid off a week later from that job. I'm like, week later, all of a sudden, uh, I didn't play politics. It's not me. I treat everybody fairly, everybody respectfully. So the union does have negatives, but the positive, the pay was great. The healthcare sucked. Healthcare blew me. Oh, it was horrible. Now it is, but back then was an HMO, and luckily you didn't get hurt. It was really bad, and I worked with a good contractor when I was an apprentice. I liked them very much. It was one of my favorite contractors. I'll just say that. Pugh's Electric, awesome. And what I had was the union brothers talked me out of staying there. They want me to experience other parts of the trade. I was doing mainly commercial, and I talked to him, and I kind of burned a bridge. I didn't want to. If that didn't happen, I'd probably be working with them still today, which is kind of nice because I actually liked my 17 years with the Kim and Clark. I actually enjoyed that very much. Yeah, yeah. So that was my experience with my union, and then, another thing, I went to Iraq, right? And, the previous leadership, they were all gun ho, they were writing me, and all of a sudden, the writing stopped. I'm like, "Oh, that's kinda weird." And I came back, right? And I go to Union Hall, happy, all proud because I thought, "Oh, cool." Man, the way was treated, I thought I thought the way they acted, like, I shouldn't have come back alive or something because they're like, "I don't know what to do with you." I was a 4th year apprentice. They had no idea what to do with me. So I had to fill off the article that said, "98 takes care of their guy, helps them top out," right? "Oh, we don't do that here." I'm like, "Why not? It's state of Pennsylvania." "Oh, it's against the rules." I'm like, "How did 98 do it and you didn't?" Uh, and, um, one of the, apprenticeship officials go, "Hey, we didn't join the army, you did. So what the heck do we have to do for it?" And then a couple of guys who were pro-military went off on him, said, "Who the hell are you to talk to a soldier like that?" That's what I got, what I mean, from the union. So there's some positives, there's some negatives. They weren't yeah, they say they're pro-military, but at the time, I didn't feel like they were, to be honest with you. Another time, I can't prove it. My final straw, what made me come to Kimberly Clark was I'm working on a job. I had reserve duty. All right. I come back, and next thing you know, I get laid off. They lay off someone else. It looks like there's a layoff. And one of the foremen I'm friends with pulls me aside and said, "Yo, Sean, they laid you off because you're a reservist." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah. He doesn't like people when taking off, so he laid you off for that." I'm like, "Oh crap!" So I went straight to Kimberly Clark after that. Right after that, I'm like, "They don't respect me. I can't respect them." You know. Yes, so that was my experience with union there, and then, of course, Kim and Clark, as that union that, you know, you you dealt with it too. What's that? Yeah, yeah, but it's tough when they're defending the crap bags, right? And you're working your butt off, and they look at you like you're not getting work done. Like, the one time I was told, was to, "Oh, Sean, we gotta defend the crap bags too." I said, "You gotta be a good union brother." I said, "How about that guy be a good union brother and stop boning me, dude? He's making my life crappy because you defending him, and he's not being a good union brother. There's a two-way street." But it wasn't. It was a one-way street. You dealt with that, didn't you? Yeah, that's what I was too. Mhm. Right. Right. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. 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 Right. And we're not talking about the people who do their job, right? Some people think they're crap, but they're not. They just do their job. They're okay. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the people who find ways to get out of work and keep throwing people under the bus, right? I had that too. A lot of great people, yeah. Right. Just doing your job's all we're asking. We're just asking you just do your job. Yeah. No, it's so easy. Yeah. No. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. And and that's why you close down. You close down from that. And that's what the old, unions back in the '70s, right? They were like that. They were very militant, and I could see why, companies wanted to leave because they were militant, man. They were really militant back in the day, and deservedly so, but you gotta still be able to compromise. I've always felt you should both ways. 'Cause Kim and Clark's not compromising right now. They pretty much said, "F you, dude." That's pretty much what they're telling you. Because they broke the contract twice. Twice they broke it that I know of. They probably did more. That but it is. That was signed by everybody. It was signed by the company and us. Well, that tells me that we can strike then. If you're telling me that, then we should be able to strike. I have no problem walking when I was there, no problem walking out. Mhm. Right. Of course, that was in the contract. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Right. Doesn't seem like it now. Seems like it's opposite at the moment. No. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Right. Mhm. Right. Doing her job. Doing her job, okay. Negotiating. Oh, okay. Mm. Yeah. Mhm. The thing is, they don't wanna get screwed with their people because basically, you know what I mean? It seemed like they only cared about a select few. They were only really fighting. Alright, okay. Because it seems like everybody up top got what they wanted, and the rest of us got ripped off. Like, your buddy, we were just talking at, Giant, and he was telling me that the new job he took is like, "I don't know how I could do this." You know what I mean? Just pile up more work and more work. Yeah, yeah, right. It's making it worse for you, not better. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Mm, 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 mhm. Yeah, you should be doing it. Right. Oh, man. No. Yeah. Yeah. Right. See if it's still good. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So, yeah. Right. Oh, really? It's supposed to be, yeah, every 6 months on the one and then once a year. Okay. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. 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 Oh, man, it's funny. Man. But by the way, what are they what's their plan for you when they leave when you leave? What's their plan? Do you know it or they don't even know yet? Oh, man. Right. Right, right. Mm, yeah, yeah. They're gonna try that again. They're gonna try that again. Doesn't work. You know what they're gonna do. They're gonna hide, you know? Yeah. Yep, yep. Right. And but treat it like crap. Yep, yep, yep. Oh my. So let's move on to one thing that you sent me a text, right? With the workers from Starbucks. Starbucks. And you know what made me start thinking was other places that personally they need to unionize because like Walmart. That's another one that should unionize because they're treated like crap, dude. Walmart, Starbucks. No, no, I'm talking about their management style, man. My dad once was a night manager there, and his crew was doing great. And the head manager goes to him and said, Mr. Simpson, you need to be more aggressive, more. He's like, no, we see my team, they're working great. They're forcing him to be mean. And I'm like, what? Yeah, Walmart style of management is to be mean. But on that sense, we see the Starbucks. Starbucks is going on strike, right? And I kinda love it because the guy CEO gets $96 million, dude. I have no shedding tears of this Starbucks strike. I have no sh and I like Starbucks, don't get me wrong. I like their coffee. Yeah. Go on strike, man. Now, a union can be good. I honestly think it can be, but then it can be bad too. Like you were saying with our union, it's going downhill. When I first got there, the union was good, and so hopefully Starbucks does it right and does a good union. It's just that I think what happens, people become corrupt. That's the problem, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. And they put their people in their roles. They put their people in their roles. They're very good at politicking. Union members just want to do their job. A lot of them just want to do their job. They want nothing to do with going to meetings and stuff. They just want to be protected and yeah, and do their job. Yep. Uh-huh. Mhm. Just like the guys from Starbucks. I mean, the Starbucks, they want to be able to survive because today's economy is tough, dude. I make good money, and I'm like, wow, it's tough, even for me. And I make good money. Usually it is, yeah. Usually. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. It shouldn't be, but it's tough. Certain people can't get that higher job. They don't have there's certain reasons why. I mean, I would kinda agree, but at the same point, those supermarkets need more than a couple college kids and high school kids, you know what I mean? So they need more. So, no, I mean, you think of how many bodies are there, there's no way that that many high school students are out there. But you still gotta stock, you still gotta do things like that, you know what I mean? And those guys gonna be lifelong workers, unfortunately, because the high schooler is gonna be going to school, you know what I mean? The college student's gonna go to school, they're gonna quit and come back later, it's seasonal. So I understand that point, but at a certain point, the people that work in those jobs, they really can't get the other jobs. That's the unfortunate part. They can't, I'm not gonna say what it is, but, or I don't know. If you work there, then yeah, yeah. Well, the only reason I'm saying like Starbucks, right? They do really good work. They do. I love their coffee. They do really good. It's barista, whatever you call it. That's I don't know. I think they should get paid more personally. Either that or just don't hire the people that are older. That's one way you can't discriminate, but you can not say no, yes, in the way that you're not discriminating. They have no way to know that, So I got what you're saying. I understand that the the job should be for young people, but it's not. Honestly, it's not. It's not it usually, yeah, right. And I would agree with that, but sometimes management and leadership, they kind of make the people feel like they got to stay. I've been in those type of jobs, right? And I see the way they treat older people. The managers, "Oh, no, we need you. You gotta be part of a team." Well, pay them. I've seen that where managers make them feel bad not to leave, you know? I've seen that too. So I agree to the point it should be a stepping stone, but if they're gonna make them stay there, they gotta pay them a little bit. Livable wage. Yeah. Yes. True, true. Yeah, yeah. I agree with that too. I agree with that. Yeah. Mm. I agree with you there. Definitely agree with that. And that's where I think the unions are failing their workers by doing that. Because what's going to happen is the companies eventually gonna get frustrated, like Kimberly Clark was, and I feel in 4 years are shutting down. That's my personal opinion, because of us being too expensive, and because you can't get rid of people. And you some of our operations have done major damage. You know what I mean? Majorly costing damage on stupid stuff. Oh, no, we definitely have. Oh, oh, yeah, I've seen that too. But then they can't get it running until next morning because they couldn't figure it out. That's why I hate dragging my feet. I'd rather fix it and then yeah, 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 right, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm losing money. Yeah, I'm losing money. 100%. Yeah, mhm, right, right, right. Well, yeah, I understand that. No, I agree with that. I would like to see more of even the union leadership just kind of getting those guys in order. It look, yeah, yeah. Just do your job. Yeah. Just do what's in the I tell people, do what's in the contract. That's it. You don't do any more than that. Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Right. Well, I mean, we got so let's get back on Starbucks. So they're asking. I know what you said, service industry, but at the same point, they are working more than past their young age. They're older, and they just want a livable wage. And it's not we years past it probably could have been livable wage, but as the inflation's going up, and as the rich gets richer and we get poorer, Just it's tougher to live in today's society. You know what I mean? Because I was playfully saying I'm going to build the in-laws quarter, so at least my kids have a place to live. I can rent that out because it's so darn expensive. You know, and I understand what they're asking for. They're asking for just a livable wage. The workers. You know, what that is, I don't know what that is. Livable wage in Philly is different than Georgia, than South Carolina, and then it's subjective. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Right. I would have to move and buy a small, really small house or something. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Mhm. That would hurt. That would like definitely hurt. And again, like I said in the last, yeah. I think if the CEO wasn't making such astronomical numbers, it wouldn't, I guess, be such a big issue, but 96 million, that's like a slap in the face to anybody who can't feed their family. Really big. And I can understand why Starbucks wants to probably do that. And like you ever heard, a majority of people on welfare are people that work at Walmart, Target, what I mean, at Starbucks. Yeah. Mhm. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright. Yeah. I know some that do and some don't, but, yeah. I seen the single mother struggling. I know a few, you know? Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. 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 And I know some people who just work strictly under the table. They make more than me and you, and they're still collecting, and I disowned them. I won't talk to them again because I just think that's crap bag. Mm. So did I. So did I. Yeah. Right. Well, I still like to see them negotiate something, because it's, uh, yeah, yeah, definitely the quality of work, you know, and that's something that Target. Yeah, no, I understand. I would love to see them move on, but I've talked to a few who had really good paying jobs, working at Starbucks, and they just said one was, I think, a air traffic controller just couldn't handle stress anymore, had to find something different. Right, want the Starbucks to work, and, it's a pay cut, but he's like, "I just couldn't handle stress anymore." and that's where he wanted to work because he likes service work and all that. That was one story I've heard. And I met another one who's a single mother. Trying to support their family. I like talking. I like talking to people. I like to get to know them. Yeah. And it's not just Starbucks. I mean, you got a place like Giant. Like you said, it's a good starter. Um, but you have people there that aren't starters. They're there lifetime. They're lifetime workers there. You know, and they don't know anything different. You know how it is. People get comfortable, man. They don't want to leave that comfort. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Right. Right. Mhm. Right. But the thing is, yeah. That's true for me and you, but when someone has a kid now, married, it's tough for them to move because they're only thinking about, you know, keeping their family fed. I'm from a, poor very poor, like you are. My dad worked a couple jobs. Uh, the ones that should be moving on as students that well, he worked at those type of jobs. He moved up, but he worked on those, worked his butt off, trying to keep us fed. You know what I mean? Um, and it was very a tough life, man. It was tough. Places he worked weren't union. He did work in the beginning. He did start at the Teamsters. That's right, Teamsters. But then he got hurt, and they really didn't back him up when he got hurt. Union, not helping out, of course. You know, so that's positive and negative to it, as always. As always, tough life. So you got that going on. Do you know what where they're striking at? Because I can't tell. I'll be honest, where they're striking. Do you know? Yeah. Oh, their home base. All right. That's where they're from. Yeah. Okay. As long as they do it right. I mean, they got to find a system. They got to find a system how to get rid of the crap bags because the crap bags would ruin the union. No offense. You know. Yeah. Right. Right. You just make the rest of us suffer. I don't look, if you're trying really hard, I understand. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm just talking the ones that avoid work or the ones that try so hard. They work harder to get out of work. You're like, why are you exhausting yourself trying to find ways to get out of work? Just work. It's mind-boggling. And that's a major negative to a union. I agree with that. That's a major negative. 'Cause I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous every time I think about going down union. I get nervous because, like, the place you work at, it sounds great, but imagine, like, a son takes over and he wants to make it great, or he wants to do something to make it more profitable. He's not gonna follow the same footsteps, so that place probably won't be the same again, and, you know, that's the one negative. Yeah. Oh, yes, yes. Yeah. Alright. Mhm. right. They did? Really? Wow. I thought it wouldn't happen till January. Alright. Mm, wow. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Mm. Oh, yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Right. Right. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Okay. So that's a positive. You need help them on that one. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 That's what we did in the past. We would make them tell us what to do, and then we would grieve them. That's what we did in the past. Yeah. 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 Nothing at all. Yeah. No, we can't. No. No. Right. Yeah. At the same time, we didn't help when I didn't go to Union Hall. I should have, but I never went. But yeah. I don't remember. Yeah. You know what? You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. I'll be honest, they should have done, like, a special one at maybe the casino, rent it out. That's what they used to do, kinda stuff in the past. Yeah, yeah. DC, yep, yep, yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, and that's one thing I was getting frustrated. They just kept quiet with the union members. They should be telling us what's going on to a point. I mean, but they should be transparent. The transparency wasn't there at all. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Or yeah. 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 It wasn't. Mhm. Yes. Mhm. Yes. Yep. Yeah. I had to hunt down our union bylaws. I had to hunt it down, because that book wasn't our bylaws. Our bylaws is something different. I had to hunt it down. I found it, but I had to hunt it down. I kept asking for it. I just wanted to. Yeah. Mhm. I th I think I may have seen it up in high tech in one of those old files or cabinets. I think I may have seen it up there. I'm missing, just mysteriously. Alright. Yeah. Oh, so I was just I don't know. Being non-union just makes me nervous, that's all. I just see what workers get treated like. It makes me nervous being non-union, because you look at Walmart, you look at Starbucks, you look at other companies that treat their employees horrible, horrible, and but you see your place, how they treat them good. Yeah, yeah. Well, in Beach Island, they're like, "Yeah, you gotta drop down to $1.50 an hour." They just told them. Didn't ask them. You drop it down. "Oh, you're no longer doing that position. We don't think you're good in that one. You need to go to this position." That's what was happening in Beach Island. They're not asking, they're telling. That's non-union. Uh, 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 no, they needed workers, I think. They laid off engineers, electrical engineers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Ooh, that sounds like all Scott plants. They're all Scott plants, I'll be honest. Yeah. Right, but you just called all Scott they're all Scott plants. They're old plants. Yep. They're hiring electricians now. They're hiring electricians now, but yeah. Yeah. Where's the training? Ah, yeah, right. Oh, ah. So they're saying it's one thing and they're doing another. Yeah. Heartbeat. Heartbeat. Yeah. Ford's talking out of his butt, man. He's talking out of his butt. Yeah. Nah. Something's yeah. Because it can't be, that too good to be true thing. That's what that is. I mean, look, I would give it a shot, but like you're talking about the insurance jobs not getting paid. Well, they're not getting paid. They should still get paid for that, though, right? Or they just don't get paid as much, less, a lot less. Yeah, right, right. Okay, yeah. Mm, unlike an insurance job. All right, I got it. I got it. All right, yeah. Oh, so we've seen the difference between union and non-union. I'll be honest, it almost seems like there's a lot of negatives and a lot of positives in both, you know? Yeah, he's probably loving it. Loving it, yeah. And I lost healthcare. I was union and I lost healthcare 4 times in 1 year, you know? And they didn't give a crap. I owed $80 to keep my healthcare, and I had it in my pocket. I'm like, gonna give it to them. "Oh, we don't do that." I'm like, "But I need my healthcare." "Yeah, we don't do that." "You're my union brother. You're not gonna take care of me?" So that one was that's oh, that was tough, dude. Losing and I used to be the guy to if you take 2-week calls, right, you get taken the back list. So I talked to the business. I said, "Hey, if I take these calls, you take care of me, right?" "Yeah." "No, he didn't take care of me." Like, right in the back of the book. I'm like, "Darn it, you lied." Yep. So there's a lot of positives, negatives, like your dad, 20, 45 years. I know a lot of other people that work 90 and loved it. You get hit and miss. I think where I worked at be a good start for people. That horrible job. Hopefully, it's better now. Hopefully, we got sued with the wage theft. Um, but I'll be honest, I learned a lot. I learned a lot there. Uh, I was there 27 years ago, so they haven't changed. All right. Uh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Oh, so they're still doing it. Wow. Hmm. Mhm. Well, that might be a good thing though, because they tell you a lot of bad habits in that company. So it might be a good thing because I'm glad I went started first year, got rid of a lot of bad habits. Uh, but that's the negative. You got the real negative. I got the real negative with the union. So there's a lot of big differences. What you got to do as a worker is when you go there, observe. Like I tell the students, is you when you interview, you're interviewing them too, right? They're gonna kind of show who they are if you keep asking questions. Like you probably did at Pico, you probably kind of interviewed the people interviewing you. I know I do. You know what I mean? They don't know I'm interviewing them, but I am interviewing them, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Well, oh, okay. Mhm. Right. Okay. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Okay. Pico. So did I, yeah. And we were a team, man. It's almost like we're a team. Union and salary were, like, close. Yeah. It was so nice. Mhm. Get uncomfortable. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Without overtime. Ooh. Wow. Wow. Yeah, man. I just meant when I do that, I kinda get them comfortable to where they're kinda, like, showing their true colors. That's when I interview, I try to get them, like, kinda, like, cool with me, and then they get comfortable, and then you get to see their true colors. You're like, "Okay, that's how these people," you know? Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. 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 Yep. Yeah, yeah. That's the positive of non-union, yeah. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Not protected, yeah. Good point. I think they're in Chichester, right? I think they're in Chichester. No, I think they same share the same hall, don't they? Yeah, I thought they did. That's, yeah. Alright, my cat's scratching at the door, and I'm getting tired. So, I think this was a good conversation about union, non-union, even though we just talked about the different things. I think we need to dig deeper on this on another subject, maybe dig deep about the entry jobs like you're talking about. Mhm, mhm, yeah, mhm, mhm, right, mhm, yeah, yeah. It definitely killed me. Mhm, yeah, yeah. You just gotta figure out what's best for you. Yeah, yeah, because you gotta perform, you know? I mean, no, no, just gotta perform, in the non-union. I mean, you gotta do it in union to a point, but not as bad as not as much as non-union, because that's all I was hoping for people do, you know? Just do your job. Mm, right. Yep, so it's just what you get hooked up to, where you go, what you're used to, that's basically what it sounds like to me. Just watch your back and watch out for weight stuff and watch out. That's the only thing I would suggest. That's it. Gotta know the rules. Yep, yep. Be assertive. Yep. Be a be assertive and, keep learning your job. Keep learning your job too. That helps you. Mhm. Mm, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Alright, so that's all I gotta talk about until, next episode, um, which we dive into we gotta see the next episode list. We have it, I just don't remember it. So until next time, you got anything else to add, Jake? Uh, one more next week, and then we'll take a break after that. All right, we'll do one more next week, or you know what? The holidays next week, so let's take a break, and we'll start a new season. How about we just start with the new season, the following? All right, awesome. Oh yeah, awesome, man. Okay, so sounds like we should do next segment of changing jobs. The changing job experience, the interviewing process, the new interviewing way of doing it, yep. The initial shock of the job, you know yeah, my temper got it better of me, that's what that happened, yeah. Temper got me. No, I had it already lined up. That's the only reason I left is because I had it lined up. I wouldn't do that to my wife. Nah, yeah, I would never do that. Plus, I didn't want to do that to Ken either. Ken was one of my favorite boss. I would never do that to him. Mhm. Yeah. Yep. Yep. He's in a bad spot. But yeah. On that note, that's all I have. This is Sean from Tech Train Solutions. Please follow my channel along with just trying. Mm, I think you're gonna do it, man. So this is it for the podcast. Thank you, people. It's a shame no one joined. We got to get better at this. Oh yeah. So talk to you later. Peace out.